Welcome back on the AM show. And after all that discourse on EJURA and the NDC's demonstration, we go back to matters tied to what transpired in EJURA as we dig into the work of that three-member committee, the Justice Kingsley Kumasi committee. Joining me, my colleague at Love FM, Erastus Asare Donko. He's going to be getting into the facts of the matter as far as the work of the committee is concerned. Erastus, a very good morning to you. And let me start on this note. Congratulations on how you handled yourself yesterday. We're all very proud of you. You did a yeoman's job. Congratulations to you. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Great. What was it like being in the hot seat yesterday, being bombarded with all the questions and all of that? What was the feeling like?
Well, it was out of the realm. At a point to initially, it was a bit nerve-wracking, and as
right.
it got on, I felt okay. Mind you, I have come before court to give testimonies in cases I have done, and so I knew I had to be calm. I have to stay calm. I have to focus on the truth and be able to share what I have seen and not go beyond that one. And so that is what kept me going. Right.
And of course, truth always stands. Congratulations once more. But let's talk about the terms of reference of this committee. What are the terms of reference? Do you know? Anything you can share with us as far as the work of this specific committee is concerned?
I asked the chairman of the committee when he was at EJURA of the terms and reference, and he simply said, interrogate and investigate the disturbances that occurred at EJURA. I guess that's what the terms and reference.
Right. Straight to the point there. So let me find out from you. I mean, not everyone was able to cover the expanse of all that happened yesterday. Tell me, give us a blow-by-blow account of a bit of what transpired yesterday, the salient parts, your takeaways from yesterday's committee hearing.
So I must say they allowed me initially to tell them what we experienced, what we watched, right from when we got to EJURA at about 10 a.m. and when we met a hostile crowd there and we were prevented from filming, down to when we were able to calm them down, start our journey with them, just like we cover demonstrations every day, move with them down to where the military came in, what kind of men who came in, the numbers, how they fired. And at a point in time, they started asking questions about, when they watched a bit of the video and they wanted to know more about what they were seeing. What the notable points I can say is that they were expecting to see everything vividly, like what I was saying, in camera, in video. And, try to link the video to what I was saying, that I must speak to the videos. But I must say that there are other things perhaps my eyes will catch that the cameras will not also catch. And I had to make that point to them as well. And in fact, if you watch the videos and you watch my testimony, clearly you could see what I was describing to them in the videos. I have not watched the videos, seriously. If you ask me, I have not gone back to watch the videos we took before coming before the committee.
So all of this was based on what you had seen on the ground on that day. You were just pouring forth what you had seen.
Exactly. What I had seen on the ground still plays in my mind till date, like a movie. In fact, when I sit down quietly and I'm not doing anything, it plays back in my mind all the time, especially the gentlemen who were shot in front of us when they fell, and the emotions, the blood on the streets, is something that keeps running in my brain. And I try to wrap my brain around what happened, and I can't make sense of it. And so I was telling them the pictures I was seeing in my head, and I've been seeing in my head since. Nothing but the truth, nothing but what I saw on the streets. And so the questions that they were asking outside the remit of what happened there were the ones that bothered me a bit, especially when they wanted me to, go into what was the crawlers and the slugs on the
Right.
screen, which I will not see being on a field. That was where I had a problem. I did not have a problem with it initially, but when it kept dragging, then I was asking myself, what is the point? Because that is not even linked to why the people were demonstrating. Because the people who were demonstrating were covering it live, and the slugs were on the live feed. So why would that incite anybody to demonstrate? What part would that play in anybody shooting anybody? That was what was going on in my mind, really.
Right. And you've also spoken about those two gentlemen who were, so to speak, gunned down, that one of them had actually been trying to, speak to those who were clashing with the police and later the military to desist from it. And that person, unfortunately, lost his life. He was one of the two who lost their lives. What more can you tell us about that?
In fact, every single day
Hello, Erastus?
think of that, why he volunteered to help journalists who were doing their job, people he never knew from Adam, and decided to guard us from his own people. And the last time we went there to the family, we learned that he has a child. He left behind a child. And I'm looking for that child. So on a monthly basis, I can send the family some. Because he was with us throughout. And just to think that you are here with somebody a minute ago, and the next moment you are seeing his blood flowing on the streets and he's lifeless, lying on a stretcher. It beats my imagination. And I think this is somebody who was asking his people to calm down. And he's the one who died for the action that was going on. And so I had to tell the committee about that one as well. And the fact that I saw later that he was the one whose blood was flowing on the streets out there. And that point needed to be made.
That's a very touching gesture. You're trying to support this gentleman. And it also talks about why this committee really must get into the details of the matter so that we get to the bottom of it. His life snuffed out, what happens to that child? These are some of why the reasons the committee is, in fact, sitting. But tell me, so the committee has started its work and it's going to continue today. Tell us a bit more about what to expect today. It's still starting at 10 o'clock, right?
Yes, we are still starting at 10 o'clock. Currently, they are making arrangements, preparing the place. And so we are likely to start at 10 today. We were told by secretary to the committee that today they will be inviting members of the security agencies. I don't know who exactly is coming, but I'm picking information that the military hierarchy will be represented today at the committee, and perhaps somebody from the regional police command will also appear. I do not know whether the commander of that team that went to EJURA will also be appearing, but that is what we've been told by the secretary to the committee, lawyer Marie Simmons.
Right. I also know that the committee has requested the raw footage. You said yesterday that it could be 3 hours plus of footage that you have. And based on that, they could invite you again to come before it to testify. Are you ready, Erastus?
Ever ready, my brother. I've told you what I witnessed over there is what I talk about. You know, I don't go outside the remit of what I don't know. And if you know me, I've always stood by what I see. If you complain to us in the newsroom, we'll have to go to the ground first. I don't like sitting in the newsroom to talk about things I've not seen. So definitely, we'll talk about what we've seen. I must say that we gave them, even before the hearing, we gave the clerk all the videos we had. in a folder. And in addition, we thought that, okay, they could also need the footage that was going live on our YouTube page. And that is why we downloaded those that were flowing on our YouTube page and added it to the folder for them. And we explained clearly to the guy that this is what was going live. This is the original videos we have given you. But they decided to play the online video. The guy, I don't know for what reason, decided to play the online video, and that became the subject of discussion before the committee. But we have given them all the footage that we have.
Before you take leave of us, I know the committee is sitting and they will probe further into the details, but we're hearing more. In today's Daily Statesman, for example, we heard about the fact that the police is pushing that point that Kaka's brother could have been involved in his murder. How is the family reacting to that? I know initially, Erastus, they pushed back against that narrative and said it was not the case at all. What else has the family been saying, if they've said anything recently on the back of that accusation?
Well, if you remember clearly, we went to the house of Kaka and we met the wife and family, and you saw that they brought out Quran. They were all holding copies of the Holy Book Quran. They swore that the brother to the deceased, Idi, did not know anything about the crime, that they want the lady who was talking to come back. But the lady has also been speaking and been still standing on his feet concerning what he has said to the police, that indeed he saw a brother to the deceased holding the body and leaving the scene at that particular time. And in fact, I will be a bit, I will want to stay neutral on this because the police might have seen something. That is why they still insist that the guy knows something about it. And that from the accounts I'm hearing, they have some beef concerning property left to them. And so that is what the police are investigating to unravel whether indeed he was part of those who did that particular job. There are other accounts that also indicate from the family themselves that people saw two guys leaving the scene, and those two guys have been arrested by the police, assisting in investigations. And so they themselves believe that the brother to the deceased, Idi, is not part of, cannot be part of the killers of his own brother. But then the police think otherwise. And I think after investigations, we'll be able to get to the bottom of this.
Well, more power to your elbow, Erastus. Keep up the good work. And thank you so much for sharing your insights with us on the AM show this morning. We'll take a breather, and when we return, we draw the curtains on the AM show.